Is that not backwards? It can't be done. This is why drugs and treatments fail and fail and fail, and why there's new ones and new trials and on and on and on. So what, why, and how? This is something that is critical if we are ever going to understand how to support dis-ease, how to bring someone out of a state of dis-ease, how to bring something out of named conditions and labels and diagnoses, and actually how to support deeper healing. This is critical. And even people who are thinking they are in a more holistic approach or a holistic model, thinking they're more in a natural, they're supporting natural healing, most people completely miss this and are not understanding this or don't do it because we're so programmed, all of us, to a certain degree, more so than others, some people more than others, and on different paths, of course, but we are so programmed by the allopathic model. And since we are programmed to that, we miss that we need to understand what something is first and foremost. We need to understand why something happens in our body second, and then thirdly, we can start to understand how do we address that so-called problem? How do we go about supporting healing on a deeper level? How do we go about not impeding healing, which is what most people are doing? They're just burdening the body more. They're impeding the body more. They're suppressing the body's symptoms. So how do we really address that? To address how, you have to understand what it is you're dealing with and why the body's doing it. Okay? And people will come to me all the time and they'll say, well, how does my mom or how does my uncle deal with such and such cancer? What do we do? What's the protocol? What helps it? What kills it? Okay. Or how do I deal with strep throat in my child? What is the alternative? How do I support that? Or actually, they don't even ask, how do I support that? They'll say, how do I stop strep throat? How do I cure strep throat naturally? Well, first, you need to understand what strep throat is. Why is the body creating those symptoms? What is cancer? Why is the body creating those symptoms? End up again and again in the conventional model going, I don't know what happened, what I did didn't work. Well, it didn't work because you didn't understand the issue from the beginning, from jump. That's why it didn't work. It would be no different than if I went to a mechanic and I said, I have this issue with my car. My car's not running. It's turning off suddenly when I'm needing to use it. I'm trying to use it for its functional purpose. I need to go from point A to point B. Well, it's not allowing me to go from point A to B, or it's only taking me halfway. It's breaking down. Things are happening. And I can't use my car as designed as I know it should be working. They start talking about, well, I think I can help you, but I don't actually know what the problem is. You, as an intelligent human being, would say, how can you help me if you don't know what the problem is? What's the problem? Is it the engine? Is it the starter? Is it the catalytic converter? Is it the transmission? Is it fuel injection problem? I mean, I'm getting out of my wheelhouse here talking about mechanics, but I think I held it there for a minute because my dad knows all about mechanics, so I know just a tad bit.
I'm proud of you. You know that. I hope you do.
An intelligent person would say, what is it? What's the problem? And you say, where is the problem originating? Can you tell me? And then the mechanic says, no, but I still think I can help you. So let me just tell you what to do. And you're like, but wait a second, you don't know what the problem is. Okay. And then if the mechanic said, yeah, it's your transmission, it's causing a problem, then you would say, well, why is that? Is the transmission old? Is there some other problem leading to the transmission failing? You would want to know, why is this happening, so you can prevent it happening in the future, so you can understand if you're doing something that's contributing to the problem, right? And by the way, in conventional medicine, if you Google any disease or condition, they will openly say, well, we don't know what causes X. In most cases, we don't know what causes cancer. In most cases, we don't know what really is causing this other condition state. Insert any autoimmune label, for example. We don't know what's causing it. But we'll give you drugs and treatments to help, even though we don't know what the problem is. Is that not backwards? It can't be done. This is why drugs and treatments fail and fail and fail, and why there's new ones and new trials and on and on and on, because you have to first understand what the problem is. So conventional medicine says we don't really know what cancer is. We think we do, but we don't know what really causes it in most cases. And because of that, let's just move on. Why do we think it occurs? Maybe it's genetics, but that doesn't really make sense because sometimes people get it and it's not in their family history. And maybe sometimes it's because of infections and these germs and microbes. But the problem is microbes are everywhere. And these so-called infectious ones and dangerous ones are also in healthy people that never get the cancer. So we don't know what's going on there. It must be immunity related. And then they'll just say, and then unknown factors. So already we don't know what it is. We have really shoddy reasons for why it occurs. And then they sit here and they try to give you a treatment. If you lay it out like this, people can clearly see how crazy of a system we're operating in. Okay, pun intended. So what do to try to recover you from this horrible disease they cause cancer that they don't really know what it is, and they don't know why it happens? How do they recover you? How do they help support your body? They cut it out. Well, if I just cut it out, what is going to stop that environment from growing another tumor? You tell me. Or they burn it off, in the case with skin cancer. Or they chemo it and radiate it, so they poison it. And by the way, we're also going to poison your entire body. And well, this is why your hair falls out, and this is why you feel like absolute garbage. But never mind that. This is the best that we have to offer you. We're going to poison your entire system so your body cannot produce any more cancer cells. And by the way, it can't really produce any more healthy cells either. Don't ask any questions about that. We're going to cut out the entire organ that we claim is cancerous. You don't need your organs. Many of them, they can just be cut out. You can move on with your life completely healthy, right? Wrong. We will just kill the cells. We will radiate the cells locally. Okay, well, at least you're not killing all of your cells. But still, if you don't understand what and why, these are just haphazard. I mean, these are just ridiculous. Or we'll just kill the microbes, kill the infection that we believe is part of the reason why you have cancer. Can you see how crazy this is? I know most of you can. But this is what we're dealing with. So when you come to someone who's truly committed to understanding how the body works, we can then start to see in a natural view, in a more holistic bird's eye view of what cancer is, it's actually a protective mechanism. I'm waiting for the blowback of all the heat and hate I'm going to get from that. But it actually is. It's an end stage protective mechanism. This is true. It is the end of the road, but it is a protective mechanism. Because think about it. If you have waste, byproducts, acids in your body, and your body's intelligent and wise and created to heal until your last breath, what choice does it have but to wall that off into a tumor, into a cyst, into a growth, so it does not continue to be mobilized all around your body? Or if you're poisoned to such a high degree, there is no choice but to be mobilized around your body. And that's, fast cancers and really, really end stage situations for people. And the problem is we pay consequences for our choices and for our poor choices and for our ignorance. We will pay consequences in the physical realm. It's no different in cancer. But cancer is not the problem. It's actually the healing response. So how do we support the body to move waste out more effectively? How do we support the body's response to poison and toxicity? Well, that's where detoxification comes in. That's where cleaning up your terrain comes in. That's where understanding drainage comes in. That's where understanding where the inflammatory cascade is actually helpful rather than trying to suppress it. That's where understanding where drugs and treatments actually make that worse long term. And let's stop doing that craziness. All of those things, whenever you understand what cancer is and what it's not, and it's not this big, bad, scary thing that will just kill you because it just happens upon people. You can't die with cancer, but itself did not kill you. Itself is the healing response. But we just didn't get out of the way and stop continuously burdening the body, so it had to keep creating that same environment. Now, it is true that sometimes matter has limitations in this physical realm. Sometimes we wait too long. Sometimes it is too late. But I encourage you to never ask yourself, am I just too far gone? I'm probably too far gone, because as long as you have breath left in your body, life left in you, you're never going to know if it's too late. Just get to work, keep trying, put one foot in front of the other, and do the things that are actually logical and make sense to supporting your body, supporting your body's processes for isolating and walling things off, and help move that waste out rather than suppressing it. And you'll be off and running to the races, and you'll have the best shot at recovery. Don't ask yourself if it's too late, too far gone. It's irrelevant. All you know is you have work to do. You've silenced the alarms you've suppressed before in your history. You can't change what you didn't know back then, but now you can change. And the great news is the body's extremely resilient, and it can come back from really, really severe condition states. I've seen it again and again and again with clients, with myself, with my family members. So we just have to get to work, and we have to stop saying that the actual healing mechanisms and responses of the body are the problem, are the pathology, because they're not. And until we understand that, we're going to continue to kill people on these treatments, on these inaccurate how to heal and cure and treat. This is ridiculous. What is it? Why does it occur? How do I recover? Do that with every single condition state that you find yourself in, that you want to support a family member in, and you will be ahead of the curve on really helping your body heal much more deeply.